these rise in attacks on what we use to create trust. We trust a web server, or we trust a database server. We trust a mobile device is ours when it connects back to the enterprise, or when we connect to a cloud service. We use these keys and certificates to be able to trust a machine or a person in ways that just usernames and passwords can't, and we have tens of thousands of them. And the rise in these attacks go back really to Stuxnet. If you remember the attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, most likely architected by the United States and Israel. And to enable their attack to run on these facilities, the designers of the attack stole digital certificates from unsuspecting Taiwanese companies, nowhere near the Middle East. And they took these digital certificates and their keys, they used them to sign their malicious code, and that allowed it to run just as trusted code, just as you might download an application that you think is real and is trusted. And of course, that certainly set the Iranians back a little bit. So we've seen a continued rise in these types of attacks. I mean, I think, as we all know, with any type of criminal element, they see what other criminals are doing and they think, wow, that actually works. And so we saw a progression from then 2010, when we saw the Stuxnet attacks, to then in 2011, 2012, we saw direct attacks against certificate authorities. Those organizations that we trust either internally or externally. In these cases, they were external. The third-party service providers who provide us digital certificates, the ones that we use on our web servers when you go and you see the little padlock in the browser, the ones that we install in our code and our application servers inside the enterprise. And we've seen that just a continued increase in the criminal interest in keys and certificates. These attacks probably are going to go up to 100, 200% quarter over quarter growth, just not year over year, but quarter over quarter, because the criminals are so interested in gaining trusted status, whether that be looking like our web servers, our administrators, or our trusted code. Gartner had some good recommendations. They put together a piece of research that was called Living in a World Without Trust. All the way back in 2012, thinking that if these attacks start to rise, we're going to be put in a seriously compromised state. So, some really simple things Gartner suggested. They said, well, you know what, go ahead and survey and find all your keys and certificates. Know what's supposed to be trusted in your enterprise. Just don't guess. We've seen sometimes organizations, they'll actually have a spreadsheet that has just a few, which they think are the most important. And, of course, there are tens and thousands of these keys and certificates. You can't use a spreadsheet. So you have to go and find them all. They're in applications, they're with developers, they're on mobile devices. Find them all. And then actually secure the keys with those that are used. So make sure that you know where those keys are, that you're changing those keys, because that's the thing. Once an attacker steals a key, it's still valid until you change it. And then what, again, might sound simple, but Gartner knows is not happening, is actually enforce the policies that you have. Actually put in place security controls to enforce the policies. I mean, the great thing is that there are automated security controls from organizations like Venafi that allow you to automate this process, allow you to establish that visibility to all the keys and certificates, enforce policies, and then automate that security so that people aren't doing this manually, that it's being done in an automated fashion that's audited, and it gives you that ability also to respond when you need to security incidents.